You gotta make the morning worth it. Get down on the cobblestone. Looking for fun and feeling.
Morning, sir.
Hello, then, lad. Been giving the gents a good coat of looking at, have you?
My compliments to Madame, and inform her that her pipes are shot.
Yeah, mine are none too good either. Fancy a cup of chai? We just brewed up in here.
No, thanks, mate. I better get on. I've got a job list as long as that look you gave Lorna Shawcross last night.
Elaine.
What?
Are you dead sure that was Lorna Shawcross?
Yeah, why?
Oh, nothing. She just didn't look much like the little act that used to play Cowboys and Indians with me and our Joni.
Ah, she has blossomed a bit, hasn't she? Mind you, they do, don't they?
Was that Mrs. Ogden making a start?
No, it was Len making a finish. He said your pipes need replacing.
Oh, dear, more expense unless we can get the brewery to pay. You know, Mrs. Ogden's idea of timekeeping seems to consist in keeping it all to herself.
Mum, do you ever wish that our Joni lived a bit nearer?
It'd be rather nice, wouldn't it, if she could pop in to borrow a pound of sugar occasionally? Why do you ask?
Oh, well, just wondered if you missed her at all.
Seems rather a funny time to ask. She's been in Derby all these years.
Oh, well, it just occurred to me that you might need some company. You know, different sort of company. Like.
Well, maybe, love, but I managed to rub along, raising standards whenever possible.
Yeah, but I mean, take this morning, for example. Just Hilda Ogden to talk to. After 7 days of that, you need a medal.
Billy, Mrs. Ogden is my daily cleaner, not my confidant. Whatever you or she may think, she comes here to do the cleaning, not to converse. Judging by that clock, there's going to be precious little of either this morning.
I'm sorry about yesterday, Mum. You know, it was a bit selfish of me biting your head off and accusing you of matchmaking.
Oh, well, there was some foundation for your suspicions, but I did apologise.
No, it's me that should have apologised. I mean, vetting a guest list.
It was my fault, love. I should have gone straight ahead and prepared what the French call a fait accompli.
No, you've got every right to invite into this house who you want to.
Well, that's very generous of you, Billy, and I'll bear it in mind.
So don't let my whims and whams stop you from inviting anybody you were thinking of issuing an invitation to, will you?
That's not very specific.
Oh, well, I mean, just for example, I mean, that girl you were talking about.
Mrs. Ogden? Which girl?
Well, you know, Lorna Shawcross, or whatever her name was.
Well, wouldn't concern yourself too much with her.
No, I just don't like to be rude, that's all.
Well, you are forgiven.
So, you'll get in contact with her, then?
She's a very busy young lady, Billy. Still, I might give her a ring. Mrs. Ogden, for heaven's sake, where are you this morning?
There's Stanley up there.
Oh, yeah, just having his breakfast while he goes to work.
Good.
Go on in.
Oh, okay.
Stanley?
Oh, okay. Sit down, have a cup.
No, not if you're just off to work, Stanley. I've only got a minute myself.
Listen, take my advice. Don't let the gaffers get on top of you.
No, Stan knows what he's talking about, Ken.
If they accuse you of being late, give them the Irishman's answer.
Yeah. I'll go early to make up.
Yeah.
I must file that away.
Yeah, it's a good one, that, isn't it?
We take our Hilda, for instance. She stands to lose 20 minutes.
Yeah, Annie Walker will be creating ructions, I bet.
Is she dashing around, getting excited, full of mental fatigue? Is she, Eck? She's dawdling.
Yes, I must say that her dawdling, now you come to mention it, does have a certain dignity.
It's the survival of the fittest. And I intend to be fit. And to be fit, you want grub in your belly.
Yes, I can see you're not going short, Stanley. Grub, I mean.
Oh.
No, one thing they won't do is starve Stanley into submission, not so long as I can open a tin.
Yes, right. Well, the reason I came round, Stanley, is I was talking to Uncle Albert last night about this dispute you're conducting with your employers.
Capitalists, money grabbers, slave drivers.
Yes, exactly. And the chap that I mentioned to you, remember? I discovered he lives in Inkerman Street.
Inkerman? Have a piece of toast.
Oh, yes, I will. Thanks, Stanley. You remember Charlie Dickinson, don't you? Retired trade union official, one of the old school, you know, hard as nails, uncompromising negotiator. Knew Keir Hardy? Actually shook hands with Harry Pollitt. Oh. Sounds just the man to fight this case for you, Stanley.
Inkerman Street?
Oh, well, I don't go around there much now, you know.
Well, you know what they say, don't you?
What?
A word to the wise. I don't remember what I said. Not a word to Lena Ray about it.
Hey, yeah, I seem to recall a Dickinson down Inkerman Street. I'll go round there this dinner. Well, thanks very much, Ken.
Right.
You know, it's great when you intelligences make a common cause with the workers.
Inkerman Street.
10:30. Oh, there's 2 blooming hours to go yet. I'll be glad when it's dinner.
Never mind, Ivy. Happen you'll come up on bingo. Star prize. Trip to Miami with Gregory Peck.
I come up last week, a single line. Any line. I spent it all on my hairdo.
I bet Greg would fancy you.
Oh, we could hide from Redskins in this lot. Oh, hello. Here comes Aunt Samari again.
Morning, girls. No troubles?
Nothing that a night in your arms wouldn't make me forget.
Shut up.
Miss Howard, can I have a word, please?
Oh, it's obvious some fatal attraction, isn't it?
Say, Ivy, you don't think they're carrying on, do you?
Carrying on where they're going on, he'll be carrying her off.
So, everything's going according to plan. There are no problems.
Nothing that I can't handle.
No, capability, I should think, is your second name.
And caution is my first.
Well, that's a good combination.
Yes, I've often thought so. That's why I like to think these little business discussions of ours are short and to the point.
Well, it's a good rule for working hours, but I wouldn't have thought you were a woman who was rigid about rules.
I've broken a few in my time.
Why so punctilious with me?
Because the 3 hairdos out there think they have noticed something.
Keeps them awake. Oh, incidentally, that lunch date, I've nothing urgent on at the moment. Could you manage today?
I think I might be persuaded.
And we don't have to rush back, so I take it the short and to the point rule might be relaxed?
As long as we stick to business.
What else, Mrs. Howard? Fancy any particular place?
Well, there's a little chop house down the street round the corner.
Oh, no. Come on, we can do better than that. It's your choice, of course. No, you leave it to me. First lunch date's rather special. I'll book a table. Till then, back to fiddling the books. Look forward to seeing you. Your hair looks stunning today, Ivy.
Well, it's tinted, but it is on my own, you know.
She only dyes the roots.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I say, ain't he fickle?
Hang on a minute then, love.
Paging Mr. Alan Howard. Your missus on phone.
I mean, she could shout to me from over there. Hello. What, again? Oh, love, I admire your honesty, yes, but it doesn't do much for my appetite, does it? Yes, goodbye. My wife is having lunch with the boss again, second time this week.
Well, she's having dinner with her boss.
I'll have a pie and some crisps, won't I?
Oh, be a devil. Have dinner with yours.
Now, Mrs. Walker, I know a snack of the Rovers isn't exactly the hors d'oeuvre of the Ritz.
You dine often at the Ritz, of course.
Well, often enough to know a good meat and potato pie when I cut one. And I'm sorry to tell you, but I wouldn't give that to Dolores for her dinner.
What's the guest list tonight, then?
Don't do that, Billy. What exactly is your complaint concerning this pie?
Well, can't you see for yourself? It's as dry as a bone. Where's all the gravy? Sailed away in its boat or something.
Hordes of people again, eh?
Are you suggesting that that pie is inedible?
It's not only inedible, but uneatable into the bargain.
Mr. Deacon, you could travel the length and breadth of Great Britain and you wouldn't find a finer pastry than that. Billy, for goodness sake, what on earth is the matter?
Well, have we or have we not got company for tea?
Yes, we have, and I am not cancelling the invitation again. If you don't want to meet Lorna Shawcross, well, you must make your own arrangements for the meal.
I wish I could afford to do that.
Can I expect you? If you wish for a refund, Mr. Deacon, you have only to ask, you know.
Well, I tell you what, Mrs. Walker, I'm a gambling man, so pass over that sauce bottle and I'll take a chance.
Help yourself, though I would have thought that sauce was the last thing you needed.
Is he in?
Yeah, he's just having his dinner. Will you go through?
Fraternal greetings, Brother Ogden. My name's Dickinson. You can call me Charlie.
How do you do?
Mr. Dickinson was painting his parlour stand, but he dropped everything when he heard you was in dispute.
Right, order of business. Item 1, presentation of qualifications. Left-hand side of the cranium. You feel that bump?
He had a bit of a duck egg, isn't it?
Policeman's truncheon. Outside the dock gates, 1920. I tell no lie.
Mind you, Stan's not contemplating anything too Millicent.
Down near the back of the skull. Slight indentation, about 3/4 of an inch. You got it?
Oh, that's nasty, isn't it?
Bradford Colliery. Assaulted by a scab. Fought and won full compensation. Right now, brother. Bona fide is accepted. Do I get first shout?
Oh, aye. You're elected, yes, sit down.
Yeah.
Right, let's get to work.
Yeah.
Ought to strike, as we say in the trade. All right, then go on. Fill me in with the issue.
Well, I've got my notes here, you see. It's Fairclough and Langton.
Them 2 house wreckers he works for.
They are exploiting my capacity to produce.
He comes home worn out and sleeps like a log.
Excessive norms.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that.
The way they treat me, it's an insult to the dignity of labour.
He has to take his own tea and sugar.
Yeah, and they use it for their brew.
Real grassroots stuff, this.
I asked them for a productivity deal. And what do?
Hid the key to the water closet.
Oh, lockout, eh?
And I'm subject to continual verbal abuse.
They swear at him and all.
All right, meeting to order, I'm in the chair. Procedure. Draw up demands, present them for endorsement. And I tell you, lad, if your gaffers start to get awkward, I'm going to make the general strike look like a dowager's tea party.
Well, Lorna, dear, I really must apologise for Billy. He promised to be here, but I'm afraid young men are very lacking in the social graces these days.
It's not because of me coming, is it? I haven't driven him out.
Well, he used not to, did you? How many years ago? You always got on very well.
Things get more complicated when you grow up.
As a matter of fact, dear, he might have a business appointment. He's a garage proprietor, you know.
Oh, sounds very grand. Does he do well?
Yes, it's a thriving business, but he deserves it. He's a hard-working boy.
Be strange seeing him again after all these years. Has he changed much?
You'll soon see, love. He'll put his head through that door and say, "Me tea ready, ma'am." Ma'am is incorrigible. Sugar?
Oh, just one, please, Auntie Annie. Fancy me calling you that?
Well, you always used to, didn't you? They were happy days, weren't they, love? You and Billy and Joni playing together, and I'd chat to your mother. Jack would take your father out to play bowls. Now we're all scattered. Still, you're here, and it's lovely to hear you saying Auntie Annie again.
It's nice to be back.
It's lovely to have you. Well, now, I think we're not going to wait for that Billy Walker much longer. Oh, you're there, are you? We're just about to give you up. You remember Lorna, of course.
I bet he doesn't.
Of course I do.
Twosom's at it again.
He can't keep away, can he?
If I might have your autograph, please. I feel very relaxed this afternoon, the result of our lunch together. I enjoyed it a lot.
Made a nice change.
No feelings of guilt?
We didn't quite get round to discussing those little business problems we were talking about.
Oh, my intentions are strictly dubious, didn't you know?
Oh, I'm so naive.
I should have thought you were pretty sophisticated. Sophisticated enough to bend the rules just this side of breaking them.
I've broken one or two in my time.
A woman of character.
Good character, no matter what some people may think.
Naturally. I mean, you wouldn't be employed here now, would you, if that wasn't so? Thank you, Mrs. Howard.
Hey, dear.
Oh, his voice does things to me.
Oh, it's not just his voice, Chuck.
Hey, shut up. What would your Arthur say if he heard you talking like that?
He can say what the hell he likes. He can't stop me from thinking.
The first week I was back, you know, I felt so strange. All alone in my little flat. Off duty, I'd just spent the time wandering around Weatherfield. I never saw a soul that I knew.
I saw you down Rosamond Street.
You never said.
Oh, well, I wasn't sure. Just something familiar, no?
You should have spoken.
I didn't want to seem cheeky.
I'd have been so pleased I'd have probably thrown my arms round your neck. I was feeling really depressed. All set to pack it in and take the next train back to Leamington. Then Auntie Annie called.
I should have called sooner.
No, I should have called you. I kept on wandering down here, revisiting old haunts. I went past the school, for instance.
Oh, Bessie Street.
Oh, isn't it grim, that playground? How many times must I have fallen down on that horrible grit?
Hey, hang on, I was champion faller downer on that.
He must have worn 3 sets of skins off his kneecaps.
I remember falling down once. Sat there sobbing my heart out. And you went whooping past, no sympathy at all.
Oh, well, boys are such savages.
Oh, we grow out of that, don't we?
I'm not sure you have.
Hey, steady on, you're blackening my character.
Billy was an angel compared to some who went to that school.
Oh, well, he has got his good points. Love, would you like to go upstairs while I clear the table?
Oh, no, let me help.
No. I can manage. You run upstairs.
Well, if you're sure.
Yes. Shall I?
No, it's all right. I can manage.
Well, it's nearly 5:30, and you better be opening up.
Oh, I'm sure Bet can manage.
Oh, supposing she's late.
If she's late, dear, I think we can rely on Stan Ogden breaking the doors down.
Yeah, well, we don't let the standards drop, do we? I mean, not for nobody.
Billy, dear, I know you think that I've stage managed this, but don't fret. I have no intention of leaving you and Lorna alone together. One accusation of conspiracy is more than enough.
I told you it was a plot, didn't I? I knew there was someone behind Stan Ogden pulling the strings.
Hey, listen, you're not going to take these two comics seriously, are you?
That Charlie Dickinson's no comedian, believe me. I mean, you heard what he said. He's not an official anymore, but he's playing it for real. You know, every time he sees a boss, it's like when Albert Tatlock sees a German. Cold steel, lads, and over the top.
Well, what can he do? He's retired, isn't he? He's had his gold watch suitably inscribed with the hammer and sickle.
Ah, he's still got bags of pull down at the branch, though, you know. He could black us at the wholesalers. He could get us barred from the big sites.
No, not under this new industrial bill.
Oh, you've read all the small print, then, have you?
Well, I think I can boast I understand the broad outlines.
There's only one broad outline you understand, mate, and that's 36, 23, 36.
Right.
I'm taking no chances where Charlie Dickinson's concerned. I vote we get him in and negotiate.
My member requests to remind you, due to finish at 6, wife will have hot pot out. Now, you ready to talk?
Well, let the chin music session commence by all means.
Ah.
Right, conference duly convened. Dispense with a minute.
Look, cut out the mumbo-jumbo. We are prepared to lay our cards on the table.
Guards, are you anticipating the termination of my member's employment?
My colleague was just using a figure of speech, that was all.
And for the record, my blood boils at the ramshackle conditions that this outstanding example of a British working man is compelled to endure.
Outstanding what? God help the economy.
Watch it, Langton.
Order, order! All comments through the chair.
Sorry.
All right, we concede that the amenities aren't up to par, but you've got to bear in mind that we're basically a Barrett and Bucket firm.
Which means we are not prepared to turn this yard into a luxury resort for Brother Stanley to loaf in.
Which means there's so mean you clean your fingernails over a box.
Well, what do you want, then? No work between meals?
A fair share of the profits you're making out of my graft.
Oh, go on, bleed us dry. Kill the firm stone dead.
I wish I was a penny behind you.
We've got money at risk. What have you got at risk, eh? The day we go crash, you'll be off down the Social Security, laughing all over your face.
My God, lad, you are one of the greediest, grasping gaffers that I've ever been in dispute with.
Gaffer? I'm still on the tools, mate. I'm still out there, getting me hands dirty.
You're sort of the worst! You're power man!
Yeah, once you're top of the ladder, what the hell who's footing it, eh?
Order. This is supposed to be a conference, not a flipping riot. Oh, that's better now. You know, you three are as old-fashioned as a pair of clogmaker's breeches. We're here to confer, aren't we? Now, you're a professional, Mr. Dickinson. Do you think we might proceed in a civilised manner?
Your remarks duly noted, acknowledged and appreciated, Mr. Chairman. Right now, as negotiating officer of the Stanley Ogden Labour Organisation, I will present the following demands. Go and enjoy this stuff.
Yeah, it is a bit of a giggle, isn't it?
I weren't talking to you. There's nothing to laugh about. Item 1. Keep the water closet ready and available at all times, double texture paper and heating to be installed.
Go on.
Item 2. In view of non-entity of tenure, wage scale above union rate to be negotiated.
Hey, hang on.
Time to confer. 10 minutes, gentlemen. Brother out.
Of course, all through training college, I had a grant, you see.
Oh, so did Johnny.
Good job, really, because I don't think Dad could afford it to support me entirely out of his own pocket.
There's you and Johnny on the walks.
The fuss we made about those dresses.
Well, your mother and I stayed up all night sewing.
So, being independent tastes all the sweeter, does it?
Well, it's nice to think you're self-supporting. Don't know how long I'll last.
No, well, of course, the minute our Johnny qualified as a teacher, she went and...
Got married, didn't she, Mum?
Which is fatal to a girl's career.
Well, you a career girl. I mean, is physiotherapy mean all that much?
Well, I like to give it a chance. But on the other hand, how many chances do you get?
That's a bit ambiguous. How many chances do what?
You know, well, it's difficult for a girl. Career here, wife and motherhood there.
Well, most girls sort that out one way or another.
Do they?
Yeah, well, when the right fella comes along. I mean, leastwise, how Joni did.
Well, maybe. Myself, I should have thought that's just when the complications start. Is that Joni's wedding?
Yes. We had a whole set then. We had a big album. Oh, we must have had 20. But I warn you, dear, Billy gets a little bored looking at wedding photographs.
Oh, I don't know. Once in a while.
Hey, what about it then? Do you think he'll buy it?
Well, I did hear some finger once sold in the town hall clock, but that was a few years back.
On the face of it, we're making a very generous offer.
Why don't we just get shut?
What, and have Charlie Dickinson picket in the place? Oh, no, mate, this is a formula for perfect industrial peace. Charlie! Come here.
Right, you got something concrete to offer?
Cast iron,
Copper-bottomed.
fur line with gold knobs on.
So wheel the lad in.
Point of information. My member at this delicate stage of negotiations prefers to remain adjacent but in absentia. I am empowered to conclude an agreement.
A binding agreement?
On both parties.
Waterproof, shockproof?
You have my assurance.
Right, first off then, no concession on point of amenities.
Yeah, but we'll have to emphasise the facilities in respect of tea brewing, horse checking, scandal sheet reading.
Are the same for both management and men. In other words, there's only one kettle and there's only one bog.
And so he'll have to supply his own sporting pink.
Just...
And now we come to the point of financial incentives. We are prepared to offer £1 a week more than the usual union rate.
Point of confirmation. You said £1?
Yes, it's all down here in writing.
Retrospective from when?
Well, it's payday today. It'll be in his packet. Shake on it, then.
Yeah, that seems quite satisfactory. OK, agreement concluded. Add one proviso, that if there were a little more of this give and take, we wouldn't need any industrial relations bill.
What's it like coming out of retirement, then, Charlie?
That's quite satisfactory, Len. That's quite satisfactory.
Hey, son of Scanlon, are you dancing at the Victory Ball then? Hey, where's Stanley? Because he's not out there.
Ah, well, he had to get home and get on with his hot pot, you know.
All right, Elsie, it's true. I didn't marry you for your rice pudding.
By gum, Alan, your double standards aren't half showing.
Twice in 1 week?
You get more like handicap every day.
Look, you might as well realise that, like other people, my savoir-faire is just a
It's
pose.
as if I told a fib or anything.
Underneath, I'm a basic human animal.
If I wanted to stereotype, I could go on about the mystery made out of Miss Barbara Bromley
Look,
and all
I'm just
that
an ordinary Tyneside Riveter lad, and I like to have the missus home at dinner time to dish the chatties out.
Oh, for God's sake, Geordie, put your pride in your pocket.
Plenty of room for it.
Take your ratting cap off and buy us a drink, will you? Sam? Have they yielded? Have they coughed up? Oh. £1 increase, gone to Rovers to celebrate. See you there. Oh, £1 extra, eh? That's...
You know, that Charlie Dickens is a smasher. Him and me together, we brought Faircroft and Langton to their knees. Teamwork, you know. He was like the spearhead, and I was a massive strength behind him.
Well, I told you, Stanley, you can't beat an experienced troubleshooter.
Like grease lightning it was. He shot them down before they had a chance to pull the guns out of their holsters, I'll tell you. King of the range, another Mohican bites that us.
You and your hired gun.
Aye, we'll have Matt Dillon next time.
Oh, no hard feelings, fella. I mean, you were outclassed, weren't you? Still, you took it pretty well, I'll tell you. Bartender, get him in, will you? 1, 2, 3, 4 pints.
Right, come on, hand over.
Oh, a bit of a fair dues, Harold.
Read the small print on that, you clothhead. If you can't count, I can. You're a quid light on last week.
Charlie said it'd be in this week.
And so it is, all 100 new pence of it.
But there's £1 less than last week. And if you say otherwise, you want your computers fixing.
There's nothing wrong with our computers. It's your negotiating that's
You
wrong.
said £1 a week extra, signed, sealed and written.
We said we'd give you £1 a week more than the usual union rate. And you've got it.
There's only one snag.
You were on 2. I think we'll take our drinks at the bar, shall we?
Yes, we'll ask Stanley to play with us.
Yes, at the dartboard.
Double or quits.
Swindled.
Diddled.
And in flaming debt.
Thanks ever so much for having me. I've really enjoyed myself. The time's flown.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Suitcases and all. I'm thrilled to bits that you've asked me. It's just that I hope I'm not taking advantage.
Not a bit, dear. Miss Nugent's on holiday, so the room's free.
You see, I knew I had to move out my flat when the regular girl came back, but it's just so difficult finding anything nice.
I know. Well, you take your time, and we shall be delighted to have you while you look round.
Well, thanks again. Till tomorrow. Bye.
Well, that wasn't such an ordeal, was it, Billy?
Oh, I struggled through.
If I hadn't known how you felt about young ladies coming to tea.
Well, courtesy costs not once, I've been told. Anyway, it's a poor do, innit? If I can't do a favour for my own mother.
If I can't do a favour for my own mother.